move now. You can't move. You can't breathe. That's how bad it is. You feel you're on a chokehold. You feel stuck. Why? Hi guys, it's your girl Letty and you are welcome to my YouTube channel where we discuss everything adulthood, lifestyle and relationships. Now, before we get on to today's topic, I have some juicy gist for you. So let's discuss this before we get on to today's gist for the day. I have a viral tweet here that I'm going to read out to everybody. Most of you must have come across this particular tweet from X, and most of you maybe you haven't. Now I will read it and then we'll discuss why I came or why we are gathered here today. Choose your japa partner carefully. Don't end up with someone like me. When you're done reading this thread, drag or block me, I understand, but I got to say this. During my recovery journey from a devastating heartbreak, I decided not everyone will marry for love. Make I carry my cross and live my life. I had 3 goals as I entered into my 30s. 1, finish residency. 2, have my babies. 3, japa. When I met my now ex-husband, I told him about my 3-point agenda, but he was not listening. Men don't listen. He was thrilled by my goal-oriented personality, but he didn't pay attention to the fact that he was not going to be the center of my world. He was not going to be an integral part of my dreams. He shared my vision since japa was his priority, and he was ready to start a family. However, I had presented a you go do or you no go do disposition. Romance was not a priority. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. Don't allow misperceptions and misinterpretations. What they said is what they said. I love her, she's such a go-getter. But are you her goal? Anyway, fast forward almost a decade later. With lots of water under the bridge, I packed my bags and left. Nigerian culture would say it was a use and dump situation. I respect that. I wouldn't even make excuses or try to pull any even those stunts. Bottom line was that after a decade, a critical appraisal of our partnership showed me we had achieved our mutual goals. It was a win-win. However, a subsequent feasibility study showed that we were going to be shackled in a loveless and bitter marriage if we continued into the next decade together. Looking back, what were the major missteps here? 1, I should have chased my 3-point agenda on my own while waiting for love to find me or vice versa. I didn't need him or japa or fellowship, obviously. However, making babies was a different matter. I knew I didn't necessarily need a man to make my babies, but I feared the stigma that the Nigerian culture and Christian religion would inflict on me if I pursued my IVF donor-facilitated single motherhood journey. So I settled for the traditional approach. Big mistake. Sis, if love doesn't find you and the clock is running out, make your babies. Single motherhood can be with dignity. He should have walked away that day when I shared my goals with him. It was a business meeting, but he thought it was a romantic outing. A transactional marriage was the only item on my agenda, but he thought I would fall in love with time. If he didn't leave that first date, he should have left when love didn't grow. I didn't hide it, I didn't pretend, I was his everything, but he wasn't mine. I've been madly in love twice in my life, and he was not one of them. That's why I pity guys when they start this, what are you bringing to the table conversations during dates. First date, Ogbeni, Faraburuku Bale. Observe if this woman likes you, if she go fall in love, if you will become the breath that she breathes, her everything. When a woman loves you, nothing friends, family or Twitter feminists won't tell her. She go dey hide, spoil you. When a man loves you, Shola go talk tire, bro go continue simple. He no go look Twitter patriarchs' faces. Forget math, chemistry, gone ikuku. Align goals is not enough. Prospects, pockets, and potentials are not enough. Love is crucial. That puppy love, that I will do anything for you, that my world will crumble for a long time if you walk away kind of love. Ladies and gentlemen, marry the person who loves you. Review that relationship. Decide before it's Valentine's Day if she loves you. P.S. I'm forever a hopeless romantic. I'm never going to get to a F love point. However, I will never ever get into a committed relationship without me being madly in love with the guy. Oh yeah, floor is open for dragging. If I tire, I will lock account for 24 hours. Then we continue dragging till you move on to other gists. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is hot tea. I have a lot of things that I want to say, but I'm gonna hold my tongue. I'm gonna bite my tongue while we talk about what we have on today's gist. Meanwhile, today's video is sponsored by Nana's Arabian tea. Go and get yours today. This is the best Arabian tea you get on the market, especially if you live in a city where you can't just go out and buy Arabian tea. Those of you that love tea, rush to her page and go and copy yourself some. We are going to delve into the topic that is not mostly talked about. Like, people don't talk about this thing a lot. And after I read this tweet, I decided to bring this matter to YouTube, because I decided to bring this matter to my community people because it's a pandemic. We're going to be discussing transactional marriages and what they don't tell you about transactional marriages. You have opened your ears a bit. I can see you perking up your ears and raising your eyebrows. This thing is a freaking pandemic. Do you know that people actually engage in transactional marriages a lot? And that's why the rate of divorce has gone up. There's so much that is unsaid about this, so I'm going to break it down. I know a lot of you will be asking, let's say, don't come again, which one is transactional marriages? Transactional marriages is just basically exchange of resources. Like, I marry you for a particular reason because I want something from you, and you marry me because you can give me something that I want. So it's trade by barter. That's just what it is. Full stop. So the foundation of that marriage is the exchange of resources. It can be power, money, wealth, status, babies. People enter into transactional marriages and relationships, even self-live relationships. People enter into transactional marriages for 1,000,001 reasons. And guess what? It is not even a Western culture thing. Let me bust you people's head. It's not a Western culture thing. It happens so much in Nigeria that it is becoming a pandemic. It happens across all levels of society. Middle class, upper class, poor class, impoverished class. In a society like ours that has massive wealth disparities, people engage into transactional marriages to break from the cycle of poverty. You cannot blame them, Abi. Some people argue that it can provide stability. But I ask, at what cost really? For the cost of your peace of mind? Now, here's what they don't tell you about this kind of marriages. These kind of marriages are very precarious in nature, because we have entered into a certain level of agreement. You're going to offer me this, I'm going to offer you this. At one point in that marriage, it's going to look like you are getting more benefits than I am getting. It starts to feel unequal, like I'm not getting my money's worth. You are achieving more things than I am in this marriage. It's going to start to feel very unequal. Also, if one partner cannot even meet up in their end of the deal, something happens, you never know, life happens, and that person cannot provide those resources anymore. What do you do in such situations? Then the relationship, the marriage is at risk. Emotional investments, uncle. The emotional investments in these relationships are very thin because nobody's doing the work. Romance is not needed in this kind of relationships. And it can also lead to a certain kind of power dynamics where one person has full control over the other person. You can't move, you can't breathe. Why? Because the other person has the higher power, has the say, can make or break you. You know if you move now, you can't move, you can't breathe. That's how bad it is. You feel you're on a chokehold, you feel stuck. Why? Because you're in a transactional marriage. You have no choice. You have to you have to end up with your own deal on the table now. You have to put your own listing on the table. You signed your soul to the devil. I'm sorry, I mean dramatic, but that's what it is. Sold your soul to the devil. Now, the intent of this video is not to judge, but to illuminate the minds of people as to what's going on. Because I don't think lots of people don't understand the level of transactional marriages that are happening. Forget this thing that people are seeing on social media and whatnot. Fake life. A lot of young people are in transactional marriages. Every relationship is a choice. as long as both parties consent to it. So my own is not here to be pointing fingers and to be judging. It's just to illuminate your mind, to let you know what's going on in the world today. But as your relationship is your choice, however you choose to do, and you guys are consenting adults, you guys must also be ready to weigh the emotional potential cost as against the perceived benefits. Are you at a loss or are you gaining? Transactional marriages are a part of our society, whether we like it or not. These are marriages where the underlying theme is give and take. You have something to offer me, I have something to offer you as well. Why don't we exchange? These things happen, they're so real. It's in our faces, it happens every day. Nobody's talking about it. You often think that maybe these marriages just exist amongst the elites and the rich people, the rich folks. And they hold that thought. Wait, who told you? You know, as they say, body no be firewood. People want things. Luxury, safety, some sort of financial security, some sort of insurance. People want what they want. Many times we even go into these relationships and these marriages with our own little checklist, which means you expect something in return for loving this person. Let's not even go there. The long-term benefit of this kind of marriages is that it doesn't work because both people end up being bitter and unhappy. Human beings are not static. They grow, they evolve, their needs changes. So if you enter into that kind of transactional marriage, what happens in 10 years when you both want different things? You're not on the same path anymore. What's going to happen? At the end of the day, most transactional marriages end up in resentment and unfulfillment. Why? Because at the end of the day, these people realize that there's more to marriage than just benefits and exchange of benefits in itself. So what do? Acknowledging that this type of marriage is not a taboo or that it actually exists is a very big step. There's no point in judging. These things, they happen. But it's very, very important to discuss with your partner. Make sure that you people are on the same page. Realize that for every marriage to work, it requires trust, understanding, love, commitment, and partnership rather than transactional agreements. On that note, I will leave you guys to reflect because the way this thing is heavy in your minds is the way it's heavy in my minds. Peace.